lesson, we're going to talk about the connections between cells that hold them in place and enable them to communicate with each other. Well, so far in this section, we've examined the cell as a free living and independent entity. And the majority of cells in any multicellular organism, however, are connected to other cells. Cells adhere to other cells in a variety of ways involving numerous types of protein and glycoprotein adhesion molecules. We examined three primary types of connections between animal cells in this lesson. One is tight junctions, the second one will be desmosomes, and the third will be gap junctions, which you can see in the image displayed. First, let's take a look at tight junctions. They're called tight because they form a continuous, watertight seal around cells. They also anchor cells in place. So much like the caulking that you might put around your bathroom tub or the sink that keeps water from leaking into the surrounding walls, tight junctions provide a similar fluid flow between cells, or they prevent a fluid flow between the cells. So tight junctions are very important in the small intestine where digestion occurs. The cells lining the small intestine absorb nutrients from the watery fluid that moves through your gut. And if the fluid and the resident bacteria inside the intestine were to leak between the cells and into your body cavity, you would not be able to extract sufficient energy and nutrients from your food. And the bacteria would make you sick. The tight junctions instead force fluid to pass into the cells that line the intestine, where the nutrients can be used. Now, the second type, desmosomes, are more like spot welds or rivets that fasten cells together into strong sheets. They occur at irregular intervals and function like fastened Velcro. They hold cells together but are not watertight, allowing fluid to pass around them. Desmosomes and other similar junctions are found in much of the tissue that lines the cavities of animals' bodies. They also are found in muscle tissue, and they hold fibers together. Genetic disorders that reduce the cell's ability to form desmosome proteins or lead to the destruction of desmosomes by the immune system result in the formation of blisters, where layers of skin separate from each other. Now, finally, gap junctions, which you see there in the third image on the far right, they basically are pores surrounded by special proteins that form open channels between two cells. So they basically function like secret passageways. And these junctions are large enough for salts, sugars, amino acids, and the chemicals that carry electrical signals to pass through. But they're too small for the passage of organelles or very large molecules, such as proteins and nucleic acids. Gap junctions are a really important mechanism for cell-to-cell communication as well. In the heart, for example, the electrical signal telling muscle cells to contract, which is important because your heart needs to pump, those signals are passed from cell to cell through these gap junctions. Gap junctions are also important in allowing a cell to recognize that it's bumped up against another cell. Chemicals flowing from one cell to the next can signal the body to stop producing cells of a particular type as well. So compared with normal cells, cancer cells have fewer gap junctions, and research suggests that the resulting reduction in intercellular communication among cancer cells may be important in the formation of masses of cells called tumors and the spread of cancer cells throughout the body. Interestingly, treatments that cause an increase in the number of gap junctions tend to reduce that tumor growth.